Hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. My name is Mr. Maxwell, and welcome back to another side quest about video games with myself and Exile Magpie.
Hello.
Yeah.
Well, the trend continues.
The trend is continuing. More layoffs.
Yeah.
This time Riot Games. Oh god. The only problem with this one, it just goes into lock so quickly. Tencent Riot Games cuts 11% of global workforce. I know, what a way to start. It's starting to become like a...
I think it's like over now 4,000 people have lost their jobs in the gaming industry. Ugh. Probably actually even more. And it's like they're... Here's my question. And I don't know the answer because I wanted to look it up but I forgot and haven't. How much is the CEO of Riot Games making?
That's a good question.
And if he decided to take, I don't know, a 50% pay cut, would that be more than the money they're saving by firing those?
Would they be able to at least maybe not cut so many jobs?
Or any?
Maybe. Who knows?
Because, you know, I bring it up, but the former CEO of Nintendo, after the Wii U flopped, took a 50% pay cut. And then when Nintendo's figures weren't as good as they were hoping the year after, he took another 50% pay cut. Because he could afford it. And he literally said he could afford it. And I'm like, we really need that kind of attitude because, like, the CEOs of I mean, you know, Japanese companies are the same. They're not that much different, but especially in the West, of this fucking CEO making like 6-figure salaries to a stupid amount and making so much in like bonuses and fucking payouts from shareholding and all that crap, and it's just like, do these CEOs really bring in? Are they that valuable? Because I would argue no, because no one is worth a 6-figure salary. No one in the world ever. And it just, we're gonna get to the point where it's diminishing returns.
Oh yeah,
because your product is going to suffer. You're gonna cut so much. This is the whole bloody, and it's not just the gaming industry. Like every industry fucking does it. It annoys the hell out of me. But they fire so many people. Then they realize, oh shit, we need like another 300 people. We fired too many. So we'll outsource it. And then they go, well, we didn't spend it on wages. No, but you spent more money on outsourcing the fucking thing. Because not only do you have to pay the wages of those people you outsource to who are actually doing the job, but you have to pay the company that employs them. And that CEO fucking asshole who probably has like a 5-figure salary. Like, it's just so short-sighted. I hate it. It's not even like a 6-month down the line short-sightedness. It's like 3 months. A short-sightedness of 3 months. At a best.
So Riot Games has said it will cut 530 jobs, which account for about 11% of its global workforce. The chief executive told staff that the costs have grown to the point where they're... I need to go into my sentence.
Yeah, you need to go into
have grown to the point where they're unsustainable. Los Angeles-based Riot said teams outside of core development will see the largest impact from layoffs. The online gaming company says it will focus on its portfolio of live games such as League of Legends, Valorant, Teamfight Tactics, and Wild Rift. Riot Games is also the latest to cut jobs in the gaming industry. Last year, Amazon, Ubisoft, Epic, Niantic all announced cuts.
Yeah, pretty much
everyone. Sony did, Xbox did. I say Xbox, Microsoft.
I'm pretty sure 2K has as well. Oh, sidetracks. 2K have released the next the trailer for the new WWE game.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen it?
Oh, I have not.
Put it this way: instead of just like using in-game engine to have the characters say something, they've used some. It looks deep fake.
Oh
it's
god.
Bad, and it's bad to have like the character like Stone Cold Steve Austin and the Hulk Hogan, and it looks bad.
Oh,
You have to see it.
I'll have to have a look.
Not only does it look bad, it looks cheap.
Oh dear.
Yeah. It's like, why? Why would you do that? Just do it in engine. Just do it in engine. That's all we want. We know you're not going to update the graphics, so why pretend?
But yeah, that's another. That's more jobs.
Yeah.
We're starting to come up with a reoccurring theme here.
Yeah. And like I said, there's going to come a point where they will. You'll get. The problem is because they don't cut any of the really top staff, like the board of directors, the CEOs, the executive assistants, the people at the very top, because they don't really cut them often. The companies become very top heavy, and then they have a whole bunch of people taking up a large amount of the money that they're making in their wages that actually don't do anything to bring money into the fucking company, because they have not they've either had no actual experience of making games, or they've been in their positions or beyond a game making position for so long they've lost the skills they had, and they've been there for so and they're literally like, oh shit, why can't we make games anymore? Why all of a sudden has our product quality all of a sudden gone to shit? I don't know. Maybe because you've got 3 people doing what you used to have 30 people do. Maybe it's that.
Possibly.
But, you got 3 people doing the 30 people's job, but you expect them to do it in the time of the 30 people.
Well, yeah, but that's because they're out of touch.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't
because because I guarantee you those people will go down next year and go, oh, we need to fire more people. We need to fire people. They won't go. They won't go. Oh, we need to fire more people. They'll go. Well, no, we need to fire people. We need to let people go, because they won't realise how many people they've already let go.
Oh yeah.
This is the problem of the gaming industry and quite a lot of industries at the moment that are suffering, because the people at the top.
Well, we were always going to get to this point.
Yeah, the people at the top have no fucking idea about the actual industry that they're fucking in.
Yeah. And speaking of out of touch, Ubisoft exec says players should feel comfortable with not owning games.
So, I've actually read this article. The article is a little bit more clickbaity. However, it is Ubisoft, and therefore we all know what the fucking end game is for Ubisoft.
In an interview with Games Industry, Tremblay outlined the company's plan to cater more flexible to gamer demands alongside Ubisoft Plus Premium, which allows early and day one access to new titles. I don't understand that sort of thing. You're allowed day one access. Well, if I buy it on day one, I would expect that I get access on day one.
Yeah, I know.
What? Anyway, this included adding the Ubisoft Plus Classic subscription plan, giving access to back catalogue titles like Far Cry 6 for $7.99. As Tremblay describes, this is all part of Ubisoft's vision to direct gamers to subscription plans. One of the things we saw is that games are used to a little bit like DVD, having and owning their games, that the consumer shift that needs to happen. They got comfortable not owning their CD collection or DVD collection. No, they didn't. It's just the stuff that Netflix owns doesn't come out on DVD for like 5 years.
Yeah.
Same with Prime never released their stuff on DVD. It's the streaming services. Disney, actually, a lot of stuff on Disney haven't really released.
Also, we'll come to the negatives of that.
They got comfortable not owning their CD collection or DVD. The CD collection is a lot of bollocks. It's the music industry, and it's mainly because a lot of people just prefer to have the song instead of the album.
Yeah,
that's what happened there.
Yeah. But
like a lot of people who want CDs, and a lot of people who like to have the album, They prefer to have the
actual physical album.
The actual physical album. It's only these Gen Zers who like that everything to be digital.
And I think that, well, I wouldn't...
There's nothing wrong with digital.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong... Well, right, so... The concept of everything digital is perfectly fine. However, as is with a lot of other things, like loot boxes and monetization and microtransactions, it is the implementation that is the complete and utter fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
So, here's the problem. There is a self-inflicted reason by the gaming industry why gamers still want to own their games. And that is because the game industry, Ubisoft as a prime example, are notorious for
just pulling the
plug on a game. And since they want all their games now to be always online and live services, if they pull the plug on the game, it doesn't matter if you paid for it, it's gone. And so we don't trust the fuckers as far as we could throw them. We don't think that, oh well, and hell, the best subscription service, arguably, is Game Pass on Xbox. Even that has to pull games from the Game Pass because licenses and because the game industry does not renew music licenses, and the music industry is just as much as a bigger dick as the gaming industry. And they go, wait, you didn't pay us our fucking millions. You're not allowed to sell that game anymore. So, I'm sorry, but in order for gamers, personally, I think, to get comfortable with not owning their games, they need to be able to trust that the gaming industry isn't there to milk them out with every dollar and dime.
It's not just that. Well, look at your streaming services that we have now, not just in the gaming industry.
Oh yeah, I was going to get to that.
Look at Netflix and Disney and
hell, the PS resistance of bullshit fucking corporation media. Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers.
They've literally pulled 2 movies without release because it would make them more money. Because they could write it off as a tax rebate. Batgirl and the Wile E. Coyote movie. They pulled them. Batgirl apparently had a really bad viewing, but I'm like, well, just fucking release it. You'll make some money because there'll be a lot of people going, is it really that bad?
Exactly. Maybe it's Morbius. Look, Sony raked it in with Morbius because it was that bad.
Just release it.
People wanted to see it.
Just put a shit to DVD. Fuck it. But no.
As Tremblay continued, as gamers grow comfortable in that aspect, you don't lose your progress. If you resume your game at another time, your progress file is still there.
That's called a save file.
That's called a save file, I know. That's not been deleted. You don't lose what you've built in game or your engagement with the game. So it's about feeling comfortable with not owning your game. It's called a save file.
Yeah.
He's just described a save file.
He has described a save file.
Which is what you would have. Anyway. Naturally, this proves controversial for many. The lack of ownership, not just of games, but also physical media, has frequently sparked negative outcry over customer experience. Tremblay highlights the positives of Ubisoft's model, arguing that a monthly fee allows access to premium edition of games. Yes, that's of the Ubisoft Plus Premium, so that's the high tier.
Yeah. Because they can't have just one tier.
Rewards thousands of titles, and possibly the biggest boom, gamers can access their game progress across PC, Xbox and Amazon Luna. Nevertheless, players are likely far less worried about ensuring their progress is saved and more about losing access to their favourite paid-for media. For example, streaming services routinely have content pulled, pushing some titles into lost media territory. Additionally, just last month, Warner Bros. Sparked outrage after pulling 1,000 seasons from PlayStation users.
Yep.
Many of which had been paid for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Netflix does this quite often. Like, there's TV shows that were on Netflix that aren't there anymore.
Disney pulled, I can't remember what series it was, but it got released, didn't do well, and then they just pulled it.
Yeah.
And it's like, You know that there are series and movies that get launched, do terribly, and then become a cult classic. The biggest example is It's a Wonderful Life. It did horribly in the box office, and I can't remember which company produced it, but they basically just went...
Columbia.
It might be Columbia, but it's been a while since I watched it. But they basically went, oh, do you know what? Fuck it. Anyone can just, you know what? We're not making any money from this. Just anyone and everyone, you can just go.
You can just watch it.
Just watch it. Just play it on whatever. Fuck it. We're done with it. And then people started watching it.
And now it's a Christmas classic.
Now it's a Christmas classic. That's a prime example. But there's others like... There were other movies that don't do well, or series that don't do well initially, and then later on, when a different group of people come across it, and then word of mouth spreads that, oh, this is actually pretty good. I'm trying to remember. There is a series that did that, and I can't remember what it was.
What?
There's a series that did that where it had like a couple of scenes. I mean, hell. If we only had streaming services and we never had DVD or anything, right? Firefly would just disappear from the planet.
Yeah.
Because, and this was from the English perspective, from the UK perspective, they fucked us over, the fans, because they kept changing the time when it was on. Yeah. It was at 9, then 10, then 11, then 1. It's like, for the love of fucking God, can I just have it on the same day, on the same time, so that I can actually watch the fucking thing?
Yes, that would be nice.
And Firefly is a cult classic. You know, it's not a massive fan base, but it's a big enough fan base for it to be what it is. And it's just like, see, the problem is also, and I think if it's in there, I don't know if it is in the report. The director of Larian Studios made a very good point. If it becomes a subscription service, originality will die.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because games will not be left. Game developers will not be given the opportunity to breathe and to go off and...
They've already Larian Games has already announced that their games will not be on any subscription services.
Yeah, which is good. And even if it's like download, if I buy a game, I want the ability to play that game whenever I want. Even if I even if I've like uninstalled the game, and 10 years from now I'll go, I'll give this a blast again.
Yeah.
This is why I like physical media more, because for two reasons. One, as I always say, it's a lot easier to show someone a bookshelf of all your amazing shit you've got than it is to, hold on, let me load up my computer. I mean, granted, solid state drives means it's faster, but still, it's like, let me show you this wall of text. What's better? Showing them a bookshelf full of like movies and everything that you've got with special editions and cool shit, or a wall of text?
I know which one I like.
I know which one I would prefer. Granted, there are some people that go, I just want the wall of text because I don't want to store. And it's like, yes, but you live in a 2-bedroom house that claims to be able to house 5 people when it literally struggles to house 1.
Yes.
I think that's a problem.
Don't get me wrong.
That's probably another issue.
Don't get me wrong. If you like the whole digital thing, hey, go for it.
I know, but I think if people had the ability to actually, because I think another problem is that houses are getting built smaller and smaller, but claim to be able to be like, oh, this is for a family of 4.
And when it's like, yeah, like you said, it struggles to house 1 person.
It's like, yeah, but it's got no storage space. Literally none. It's like the corridor literally cannot house anything. It's like, if you put anything there, you can't get through the corridor. The bedroom can hold the bed, and that's it. You have to convert the guest bedroom into a walk-in cupboard because you've got nowhere else to put all your clothes. So I think that's another issue. That is causing people to have streaming and go digital only because it's like, well, I've got nowhere to store anything anyway. But I think if people had the ability to have the option to either own the thing physically or not, or own it digitally only, I think a lot more people, if they had the ability to store the physical object, would have the physical object.
Yeah.
But like, and I know he's talking about, in order for subscription models in gaming to be successful, it needs a change from the consumer for it to become successful. But that, I understand, like, that is what he's actually saying. But I know the end game is, yeah, we want everyone on subscriptions so that we can just dictate what they play.
Yeah, pretty much. Which is why there's been massive backlash, because everybody actually sees through the farad, the farad, the facade.
Some have blown it out of proportion. However, it is the AAA game industry, and then most importantly, it is Ubisoft. So yes, blow it out of the water and throw it back in its face.
I think the main thing against it's specifically a AAA gaming for subscriptions. The things I have against it is, one, I don't trust any of them as far as I can throw them, and considering most of them are very, very heavy buildings, I can't throw them very far. Nope. And secondly, it's just like half of them, like the subscriptions are shit. Like they're just shit.
You just look at
here's you pay us 100 quid a year, and this is I look at Game Pass, right, and I know Game Pass is good.
Yeah.
In a sense, but I look at it and I just go, I don't want to play any of them. I've actually got most of the games that are on the subscription service. I've fucking already got them. Yeah. I'm just like,
the Game Pass is a good thing to try things out, and if you like it, keep it. The problem is that we know from experience, for example, Ubisoft, since, they're the ones that brought this up, for a long time, people could not get Scott Pilgrim versus the World. The 2D brawler. Well, not 2D, 2.5D, whatever. Pixel art brawler.
Yeah.
Which is an amazing game. It has an amazing soundtrack. And because Ubisoft were too fucking skinflint, and I think it was Universal? Yeah, Universal. Wanted, the license to be renewed. And it's like, if you want to renew the license, you got to pay us the money that, you bought the license for. And Ubisoft went, we'll just pull the game from service.
I don't think it's Universal, actually. I think the guy actually owns the license.
Yeah, no, but it was the game of the movie.
Oh, that's true. So yeah, maybe.
And I also had I know, because I have Scott Pilgrim vs. the World on PlayStation 3. Yeah, I had it on PS3.
I've got it on PS3,
and I didn't delete it, which meant probably one of the few people who still had Scott Pilgrim vs. the World on their on their console when people couldn't access it. And it's like, well, I mean, hell, Nintendo at the end of last year or beginning of last year deleted the eShop for Wii and Wii U.
Yeah.
There was a lot of games that were only on the Wii and Wii U on the shop. They're gone. This is an industry that does not give a shit about the actual products that they produce. And I'm sorry, but like, if they actually did give a shit, Assassin's Creed Valhalla wouldn't have been the buggy mess it was.
Well, Ubisoft probably wouldn't.
Fallout 76 wouldn't have been the absolute clusterfuck it was. So, yeah, I don't trust...
Starfield would actually be fun.
Yeah. I don't trust any of the major game... I mean, hell, this is an industry with Konami in it.
Hey, what have I told you about saying bad things about Konami? I said, right now, Okay, right now we don't say bad things about Konami because we don't want to jinx it. We don't want to jinx it. Okay.
We already did. No, bad shit has already happened because they gave us a piss poor.
Yes.
Poor man's version.
Yes, they deserve that. But right now we've already mentioned that we don't talk about Konami right now. We do not jinx this.
Also, we have the head of Square Enix constantly going on about fucking NFTs,
even though they died like
a year ago. A year to 6 months ago. We've said a bit thing about Nintendo. EA at a time refused to publish a game that they couldn't put fucking Ultimate Team into it in some way or form. These are the companies that want that claim that us gamers need to change our thoughts, and it's like, no, we need to be able to trust you first.
Yeah.
The ball is in your fucking court. You need to change your modus operandi. We're sick and tired of being milked and dimed for every fucking penny, and then when you do milk and dime us for every single penny, you give us a shit poor performance piece of crap like Madden.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Although, let's be honest, nothing's funnier than seeing a house just randomly spawn in the middle of an American football field. I don't think that's ever going to be beaten.
So
that's not just a bug.
That's with Madden. I feel
that's not a bug. Somebody deliberately did that. Somebody deliberately put that in the game.
Yeah. Regarding Madden, I do feel sorry for the genuine Madden fans, and I'd say the genuine Madden fans for the people who want like a better career mode, an actual like better improvement in actual simulation game, which is what Madden claims to be. Fucking isn't. You just have to watch one of those fucking games to realise it's not.
I don't think we're going to get... They're not going to get a sudden change on subscription models.
No, because the thing is that they need someone in the boardroom to let you go.
It's not just that. It's the thing is, nobody really... Even though we do pay Netflix and Disney, and nobody really trusts them with this stuff. I mean, Disney's got some shows on there which I can guarantee are not going to be there by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Like you just know.
But also like it's again this disattachment from reality. This is disattachment from the market they're in. Like these people, the gamers already have these subscriptions. They already pay for like 2 or 3 streaming services, and you expect them to pay for not because if one does it, they'll all do it. You expect them to pay for a Ubisoft subscription, a EA subscription. Actually, it's EA, so it'll be an EA subscription and an EA Sports subscription.
Yeah.
A 2K subscription, a Square Enix subscription.
Which technically you already have if you've got Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, but that's a subscription for an actual game, which is
I know. But
which has already been.
What I'm saying is Square Enix could like just sneak their own little thing in there. That's what I'm saying. But as long as for me, as long as like if they're going to add a streaming service, as long as that counts. If I'm paying,
if you're paying for Final Fantasy 14,
I should get the streaming thing already.
Yeah.
I've already got an account.
I know, but no.
I'm already paying you.
Yeah, I know. My point being is, like, do they expect gamers to pay 6 different subscriptions? No! Fuck off! You greedy ass bastards! For a service that will be shit, because we know it will be, because it'll be the cheapest they can possibly spend.
If you think about it, you've already got to pay for your PlayStation subscription or your Xbox subscription, because otherwise you can't go online.
Yeah.
So you've already got that.
Then there's any battle passes that you get that you pay for, which technically, if you think about it, is a fucking subscription if you pay every fucking.
Yeah, almost every live service and almost every game has a fucking battle pass in there now. Yeah, there's already too much.
Yeah, and the thing is also like, do you remember when they used to say, well, games are this expensive because of the pre-owned market? If we didn't have the pre-owned market, we could make them cheaper. Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember when, the likes of Ubisoft and EA and Activision used to say, oh, well, our games are this expensive because we have to cover the cost of the people who don't buy them first hand. I know that the second-hand market is dying off because...
Well, mainly because of digital.
Yeah.
And also that nobody's really handing in their games.
Yeah.
Games literally just announced that they're not doing pre-owned stuff anymore.
And that's happening. That's dying off.
I mean,
and
to
what
be fair,
did they do?
To be fair, that was more... That's kind of more the pre-owned market's fault.
Yeah, because
they were not giving the money back for fairness. You would take a game in that maybe came out 2 weeks ago, and they'd either want you to take some sort of credit, or they'd give you less than half price for it.
Yeah, and then charge they would charge you. Then they would charge that pre-owned game that they only paid like £20 to you, £10 less than the actual.
Oh no! Some of them
price.
not even that. Some of them would actually charge more. Than like CEX does it quite often, where like a new games that's just come out that maybe somebody's took in and like they'll charge you almost full price.
Yeah. Or
even more.
Because they don't actually have like the unowned.
Yeah. And it's just like I can understand why the pre-owned market's dying out.
Yeah, it was there was no value in trading this stuff in.
Yeah.
The other thing is that happens, and now games are £70, $70. By the way, by the way, a pound still isn't currently exactly $1.
Yeah,
it's still like $1.20. So the UK still getting shafted by the AAA game industry.
And they want to actually up the prices to 100.
Yeah, and now they're starting to talk about maybe we'll have to charge $100. Fuck off. You charge $100, see how many people buy the fucking thing. Now, yes, there are certain games that people will buy $100 for it. Grand Theft Auto 6 is one of them, and I'm like, you fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Don't.
FIFA.
Because
you know that they'll buy the 100.
Do you know what? I'm surprised EA hasn't even attempted to do a FIFA subscription thing yet. I'm surprised.
It'll just be Ultimate Team.
Oh yeah,
like every month you'll get like 2 packs.
No. Not as a yearly subscription. You pay like the £70 a year, right? And you just get the next FIFA over and over and over again.
Oh God.
I'm surprised they haven't done that because, I mean, that's the only way they can put even less effort into actually making the game.
That's true.
Because all they need to do is just upload a transfer and kit patch, and then tweak the fucking.
You're going off the assumption that they're actually going to put effort into this.
Oh no! It would be the minimum effort. I.e., make sure all the transfers are correct. Make sure the kits are all... I would say... Make sure the kits are up to date, all the transfers are up to date, and the odd tweaking of like 2 ability points per player.
Yeah. EA would definitely do that.
It's like...
It'd be terrible. Anywho.
that is a terrible, terrible fucking future. And it's like, just... No. We've had enough of your fucking greed. Go F yourself.
Mm-hmm. Right. So, moving on.
Yeah.
Last week we talked about China bringing in those rules.
Yes.
And how it had affected certain companies.
Yes.
Like
and
Tencent.
And we said that, this is the Chinese government. It is pretty much rubber stamped because anything Xi Jinping wants to be done gets done.
Mm-hmm.
Because, he's a totalitarian dictator. But anyway.
So, China quietly pulls draft gaming rules from website.
I think their calculations of how much they were going to be losing in economy-wise is a little bit more than they thought.
Beijing has quietly pulled the purpose curbs on the video game industry from the official website weeks after the draft guidelines wiped tens of billions of dollars off the market value of the local titans. The link to the draft rules was no longer accessible. Haitong Securities reported earlier on Tuesday shares of Tencent and NetEase jumped on the news. This could possibly indicate that there will be further changes in the new measures. The move follows Beijing also removing a key official, the head of Publication Bureau of Communist Party's Propaganda Department. Bloody hell, try saying that when you're drunk.
In other words, he fucked up. He fucked up, which means he no longer in charge.
They released him over the handling of the release of the draft rules, which caught investors and gaming giants by surprise. Yeah, they kind of didn't tell anybody that this was going to happen. They just dropped it on them. It was just sort of like, oh, I see. Last month,
I mean, it is the single party government of China. I mean, you know, they're used to just dropping things on people and people just dealing with it.
Last month, China's video game regulator proposed new measures to curb excessive time and money spent on computer and smartphone games. Specific suggestions including eliminated rewards for daily play that can lead to addiction, as well as restricting in-game purchases to limit spending. That was basically the rules, and this was where, because we were talking about Genshin, the impact that would be on Genshin and games like Genshin, especially this year, because this year is probably going to be the year of the gacha. There's a lot of gacha games coming out this year.
Yes.
Some of them look really good. I'm not going to lie. Some of them actually really look good. Mm-hmm. But this rule was going to impact the gacha thing, and China is pretty much the king of the gacha right now.
Yeah, pretty much a lot of the companies that are...
And MiHoYo's whole business fucking strategy is gacha. So, we have that stuff. I'm not surprised that they're probably pulling back, considering how much the industry in China were...
Well, you know, when there's like multiple billions wiped off in a single day, that is a
I'm pretty sure Tencent was like 15% or something.
Yeah, something like that. It was a lot of money.
It was a lot of money.
That's the moment when you go, maybe we're using a sledgehammer to crack a nut.
I mean, to be fair, it is China, and that's kind of what I would expect from them.
Yeah, I know, but like...
We have this small problem, what should we do? Just smash it.
we're gonna take this giant fucking hammer... I'm gonna smash this tiny.
And we're not just gonna smash them. We're gonna anime smash.
So yeah, like it's so that the nut doesn't. Not only does the nut get smashed, but the
everything around it,
the concrete slab that it's on gets smashed. The underground foundation that it's on gets smashed, and you know, potentially all the way down.
Possible that there's going to be a small crater.
Yeah, potentially. But, you know, we're the People's Republic of China, and therefore what we say goes.
We do what we want.
We do what we want.
So, yeah.
So obviously, the person in charge of the economy was probably really pissed.
Most likely. He probably turned around to him and it's just like, what the fuck did you do?
What the fuck?
Yeah. I mean...
Which, you know, also
we'll go into a little bit more for the Chinese market, because there is something going on in another article that we'll be talking about. But the Chinese market alone, kind of, especially in the gaming industry, kind of lives off that sort of thing, of the daily spend and all this sort of stuff. So limited in that,
it's literally like we say, it's the home of gacha in a sense.
Limited in that kind of really, really, really will hurt.
Yeah,
and
the issue is that they decided we're going to basically cut this, but we're not going to do it slowly.
No,
we're just going to cut it, and also we're not going to give them an ability to not circumvent, but like adapt. Like we're just going to cut it, and then see.
I mean, I get why they did it. Yes. Like, I understand. They're like, you need to limit spending because there's a lot of people getting into debt over there.
Yes.
Over fucking video games.
But also, like, the whole thing when they said, people are skipping work to play these games, I'm like, well, fucking fire them. If you're an employer and you can prove someone is skiving off work to just play a fucking video game.
Yeah, but the thing is, right, we're going off our sort of mentality of, like, where we live. Yeah, we would just fire that person. But, like, I have no idea how it works in China. Because you got to remember, China have their social credit score and all that stuff.
But
so I absolutely have no idea how how firing someone works. Like, if you fire someone, does it affect badly on you? I don't understand the social credit score. It boggles my mind. It's just like, how do you get your score up? How does it go down? I actually know. I know how it goes down. I've seen a lot of people. I've watched it, but I haven't seen anything
you compare their glorious leader to Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, I haven't seen anybody I've not watched anybody go, oh, so this is how you get your score up. You know?
Well, no, of course not. Why would you?
So, also, is it harder to fire somebody in China?
I doubt it.
I mean, I doubt it as well.
It's a one-party.
I doubt it as well.
It's a one-party dictatorship.
We don't know. I don't know how life goes in China. I don't understand these things.
It's a one-party dictatorship. It is going to be easier to fire people.
Probably.
Because all you have to go is, this person is not being a
constructive member of society.
Of our glorious society.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it could be worse.
It's not. It won't be literally that. You'll have to put something in to explain why they're not constructive. But anyway.
So God knows. Well, I'm going to keep an eye on it because I'm generally interested in it. It's quite funny.
The thing is that because of how important, especially Tencent, who has their fingers in a lot of Western companies.
Well, I think they've got their. I think they're pretty much everywhere.
Yeah,
now.
They're pretty much in almost every. I don't think they're in Sony. I don't think they're in. I don't think they're in Microsoft.
No.
But they're in Epic. They're in Riot.
They were in Activision.
They were in Activision, but obviously
Microsoft bought them.
Yeah. I think they have some sort of not they have a small stake in 2K. I think they have their fingers in a lot of pies, basically.
Yeah.
So whatever China does will have a ripple effect in the Western gaming industry because Tencent, even though they don't have controlling stakes in these companies, they do have enough for it to be an influence.
Yeah. Sorry. Keeping. Oh, there we go. Oh my God! What are you doing? Right. I'm sorry, my phone's going off. Right. So keeping with China. So Genshin had its 4.4 live reveal.
Yep.
Alright, hold on. I'm just going to turn my phone down because it's
annoying you.
Yeah. I got it on because obviously I got that order.
Yeah.
And then I just forgot to turn my notifications off. There we go. Right. Is that right? Hold on. I got the right one. No. Oh, that's my window. There we go. Right. Notifications is off.
There.
Right.
There we go.
There we go. Okay. Back to professional. So
back to being the most professional.
Genshin had its 4.4 live stream.
The Lantern.
It's the Lantern Rite. It's the big, as we mentioned. It's
basically the celebration of Chinese New Year.
Yeah, it's Chinese New Year. It's usually where you get the most stuff. Now, whether you think that stuff is good or not, that is your opinion. I've always believed that Genshin has kind of skimped on its rewards for its, especially its New Year and its anniversary.
Yeah.
Especially if you compare it to many other gacha games, especially now the Honkai's come out and you compare the two.
And it's the same company.
And it's the same company.
Now,
but I've seen a lot. If you watch on YouTube, and it is a shame, I will. There are a lot of YouTube creators on. Genshin creators involved that will pretty much tell you that everything's rosy with Genshin.
Yes.
And I mean, Genshin's a good game. I love Genshin.
Yeah,
I love Genshin.
We have actually, in previous videos, sung his praises, but
there's always been the problem of, number one, as I've said, it's always kind of especially its global community, like crap. Like it has.
Yeah.
If you look at what the Chinese servers get compared to what we get, you'd be like, oh, what? Like this 4.4, there were rumors that there was going to be a skin selector. So we were going to get 2 free skins.
Oh, Cool.
this year. They were rumours, right?
That'd be nice.
So we've got one. We're not getting two. We're getting one, right?
Okay, that's already disappointing.
Which is the one you got to do the event for, which is the same thing.
Yeah.
That happens every year.
Do
Fine.
the event.
I'm fine with that. I think that's fine. Doing an event, you get a skin at the end. That's great. That's fine. I'm down for
The
that.
event is usually easily done as well.
The skin selector is one, only if you buy a PS5, and two, only in China.
Ah.
Yeah. Now, bear in mind, there are free skins coming with this update. We're getting free skins.
Yeah.
We're getting the free one with the event, and we're getting two others.
Yeah.
The other two you'll have to buy.
Yeah.
Right?
And they're not cheap.
I know, they're not cheap. So we've got that.
So already the community, which...
So the EN community, at least of what I've seen, like if you watch, there's somebody called Tectone.
Yes, Tectone, yes.
He's
been a
constantly
vocal
calls
critic.
out Genshin for the bullshit that they pull.
Yeah,
and
he's been a constant critic.
I do agree with a lot of his takes. I especially like it when he calls out other Genshin creators for pretty much. So basically, a while ago there was this. You streamed. You're contracted to stream Genshin.
Yeah.
Right. For 2 weeks, but you weren't paid. Now, obviously, Tectone did not take this.
No.
But some of the bigger ones did, and they could get. The thing is, they can get subs. They don't have to worry about it.
The thing is that,
right? No, the thing is that they've deliberately taken the contract, knowing that they'll get subs, and the lower ones, who are pretty much forced into doing it now because the bigger ones have got it.
Yeah.
They're not going to get subs.
No.
They're not going to get the subs to do anything, which is why this contract is absolutely fucking bullshit.
Why would you do that?
Well, because they know that, like, look, if I'm a streamer, right, and I'm streaming Genshin, and I'm one of the big ones, right, I know that, like, I can take this contract. I'll get the money off the subs, right? But I also know that, well, because I've got I'm the biggest one, and these ones over here, they're smaller than me, right? No one's watching them. I don't have anything to worry about.
Yeah, like there is a reason, right? So here's the thing with streaming. Like, streaming alone is not enough to do it all full time.
It's not that. It's not.
Yeah, no, but no.
It's
my point being,
it's the scumminess of it.
Yeah, no, but what? Let me finish. Like, for the big massive ones, you get like sponsors and all that attached on, and this is not sponsorships like, oh, play this game. This is like your G Fuel, your Gamer Subs, your merch stores, all that sort of stuff. That which are always always shown, like either during the stream or whatever. So those people, the big massive ones, already have that extra income coming in. The smaller streamers don't have that, and so for a lot of smaller streamers, and when I say that, I mean, like, it's
basically greed.
Yeah,
you did it because they did it for greed.
Yeah,
they know the ones below them are not going to get the subs.
The ones below them can't do.
You. Yeah.
No, the ones below them can't actually accept that deal.
Yeah.
Basically, they know that those below them can't accept that deal. And because, so they're basically...
The other thing is now, if you say you wanted to work with MiHoYo, right? Yeah. You're now forced into taking that contract because, well, the big ones took it.
Yeah. Why should we offer?
Why should we offer to pay you
more
while this guy who gets tons and tons of views?
Why should we offer you money
exactly
for a smaller audience when this person with a bigger audience does it for us for free?
Exactly. It's a scummy move, and it's also a way for the people who are at the top of the streaming thing for Genshin.
To monopolize.
Yeah, they stay at the top because they get work from Genshin. And it's scummy and it's bullshit. But anyway, moving on, because that happened a while ago. So the reaction from some other things. So you may know that basically the 4.4 what they basically said was, because the game's been fully launched, it's been 3 years, right?
Yeah.
So the reward for playing this game for 3 years and sticking with it and all that sort of stuff, you get free intertwined fates. You get free pulls. That's it. That's it.
Oh God, fucking hell!
And that's for everybody, right?
You should have.
So obviously the global community, or the EN community, they pretty much, a lot of them, like Tectone, basically called it out. I've seen a couple of other streamers call it out, being a bit kind of bullshit. But for the majority, the general consensus was, oh, we've been shafted again. What a surprise. Which is my reaction to it. But the Chinese, now the Chinese have got involved. The Chinese servers, because they're getting the same reward.
Oh,
and they're not happy about it. And for MiHoYo, when the Chinese community get involved, that's when something gets done.
Yeah.
Because that's why Zhong Li got buffed massively, and he's still the only character that they've ever tweaked his.
Because they nerfed him to death.
Well, no. When they released him, he was garbage. He was absolute shit. And when you think about it, he's supposed to be the strongest Geo, and he was absolutely garbage.
And also, he's a 5-star.
And he was a 5-star, so people paid for him. So they tweaked him. What's the other things? There's been some other things like moving stuff around. Basically all on the Chinese. All because of the Chinese. To which, by the way, have you ever, when you get Primogems, you get like the 100 Primogems for whenever there's been a bug or something like that. We get a 100. Do you want to know how much the Chinese get?
I'm going to say 1,600.
They get 1,600 to 24.
Oh, so enough for at least one 10 pull?
Yeah. They get tons. They get tons of Primogems. Whenever there's a bug fix, and they get loads where we get 100. The updates as well. The big updates we get 300. Yeah,
whenever there's a new battle pass out.
Yeah, they get enough for 20 pulls.
Yeah, I can see why. No, this is bullshit. It's like, if you can afford to give the Chinese market, who is your biggest market, that much.
This is why I'm saying the problem is that the global community, at least on the west side, because all you ever seem to find on Genshin is people just singing their praises, and most of the time this is because they've been sponsored, and that's fine. I get that, because I don't mind people singing praises of Genshin. Genshin's a good game. You should sing.
Well,
we sing its praises. We're not sponsored. It's a good game. MiHoYo just needs to treat us better.
The game's good. The company behind it.
So basically what's happened is, because of this, the Chinese fans, they have started unfollowing on social media.
Yeah.
They're on all their social medias. They've gone from like 11 million to 8.9 million followers in the space of a day. Not only that, though, the companies that also work with MiHoYo, like KFC, Pizza Hut, all that stuff, they're also losing followers on their social media.
So they're pissed.
So they're also.
That was the thing.
They're also
the
getting
the Chinese servers got special, like KFC only.
Yeah,
costumes.
for a while. No, not costumes. They got a glider.
Oh,
they got a glider, which we eventually got through Twitch drops, but that was like a year to a year and a half after it actually first released.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I still want that cute Noel made outfit for the KFC thing. Why is that not in game? You've clearly designed it.
Well, no, it is in game. You just don't have access to it.
The thing is, I don't know if it's in the Chinese one. I don't know. That's why I'm saying, is it or is it not? Because I know the Diluc one isn't.
That's what you found out with me.
Because there was a Diluc one
yes,
for the KFC.
Yeah.
The two cutouts. Yeah. But the Noel one was really like, why have you not put that in the game? Why would you design it and not put it in the game? Same with the Diluc one, actually, where he's wearing the sort of like
butler
servant sort of thing, where he's got the apron on and all that sort of stuff. Why would you? You've designed it, just put it in the game. Why?
I mean, hell, even if like you're like, oh well, we want to we want to make money from it. It's like, yeah, but eventually it gets to a point where people aren't going to buy it. So just fucking release it.
Yeah.
Especially into a server that you've never released it on. Just fucking do
people
it.
will buy it. If it comes to anything that I know, when it comes to games, people will buy skins. As long as it's fairly priced, people will just buy skins.
Like I said, if Genshin wants if MiHoYo wants another reason to print money, they give us more skins.
I mean, personally, I think Genshin or MiHoYo needs to go the route of Nikkei and start collabing now, and maybe give us like costumes for the characters from other IPs.
Yes.
I think that would make gangbusters.
Yes.
Like, I don't know, just have somebody dressed as Mikasa? Chainsaw Man.
Yeah.
Redhead lass.
Yeah. We all know who you are. Wolf.
But so yeah, the companies that they collab with a lot, they're also losing things. There's also been boycotts against those companies.
It's kind of blown up in their faces.
In
it's like...
So I don't think we're going to get anything for this. I don't think we're going to get any changes whatsoever. But I do think the Chinese will get. They'll get like 10. They'll get 10.
Yeah, they'll get 10 polls as usual.
Yeah, and we'll get a double. We'll get 6.
Yeah. And everyone knows you don't pull singles. You never pull singles in Genshin.
No, you don't.
Because that's just torturing yourself.
Yeah. But so Genshin's in a bit of a tism
of its own making.
Of its own making, mainly because 4.4. I mean, don't get me wrong.
I think I'll enjoy the event, but I'm like, since you told me like, oh yeah, the Chinese get so much more. I'm like,
oh yeah, they always get more. They get loads more.
And I'm like, oh.
Honestly, just look up people like Tecton. Just look.
I've seen some of the stuff.
Honestly, there's some of the stuff that they've gone through, like what the Chinese get and what we get it's unbelievable, like the differences. And it's a shame because it's just sort of like, why are we like shit? I mean, especially on our side, because like I said, all I can find is people other than like Tecton and what's his name? There's another YouTuber who does call out MiHoYo for their bullshit. Because if you compare Genshin to Honkai, the Honkai treats you so much better. I play both games.
Yeah.
And Honkai, although I don't like Honkai as much as I like Genshin, because I do prefer exploration over that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Honkai treats me better. Like, it treats me so much better. Like, I go away for a week and I come back and it's just like, oh my god, you've been gone a week. Where have you been? Here's some stuff.
Here's some free shit.
But like Genshin, you go away for like 3 months and you come back and you get the login for 7 days where you get some stuff, but that's it.
Yeah.
And it's not much. And I'm just sort of like,
what is wrong with you?
Why? Why do you do this?
So I think I know why they do it this way. Now, I don't agree with it. I'm not justifying it. It's still bullshit. But I think the reason they do this is because Honkai's player base is not as big, and so they have to try and drag. They're trying to either keep the players that they've already got, or try and somehow draw more people in. Now, that I still don't think that's a good reason. It's a terrible reason because you should still, like I said, if you can afford to give one part of the community all this shit, then you should also be able to afford to give the rest of the community the same amount of shit.
Yeah.
And if you don't, then you're clearly shafting part of the community, and eventually that community will just get fed up and fuck off and go elsewhere.
Yeah.
It will eventually happen. I think the thing that's keeping the Western audience is actually the story.
Yeah, the story's pretty good.
I think the story is actually keeping the Western audience in.
Yeah.
Because I'll be honest, it's fucking interesting. And but the problem is, is that we can do maths. We know there's only 2 areas left in this. Well, yeah, because we've got.
That's a Mondstadt.
We've got 5, and there's 7.
Have we got 5?
Yeah, Mondstadt,
Niue,
Inazuma,
Sumeru,
Fontaine. That's 5.
Natlan's next.
Yeah,
that's 6. So yeah, then it's
Chesnaya. Chesnaya. We know Chesnaya is going to be the last one.
Yeah,
the ice.
Which is, I'm not going to lie, I'm looking forward to it.
Exactly.
I like.
But the problem is that we know that whatever this story is, it's probably going to end at Chesnaya.
Yeah, that's true. Unless we're going, I don't know, we're going to the sky.
Possibly, but again, but still, that's still only 1 extra area, which is like so that's 3 years. After those 3 years, if the story ends there, if they still keep treating the Western audience this badly,
oh yeah, they're just going to
go. They're going to go somewhere else, like Nikkei.
Yeah.
Which is apparently, from what I've heard from people who play it, the story is actually really good.
It's not too bad.
It's a very big bakery, but
it's actually pretty good.
Pretty
good. And like I said, like the collabs that the game does, actually pretty alright. Yeah, so like you could 2B was in there. Chainsaw Man was in there. Yeah, tons of stuff. Like Genshin should really start. I'm surprised they haven't. It's a weird thing. Like,
I think
let's
that's
be honest. Team up with fucking Type Moon, right? And give Jean the saber outfit.
Oh God, yes.
Like, it's not hard. It's just think. Just use your brain.
Saber outfit and Excalibur.
The thing is, doing that is a way to get more people to play your game.
Yes.
Because there are people who probably play Fate Grand Order that or just love Fate in general.
Yeah.
And possibly hasn't played Genshin. I'd be surprised if they haven't. But there's
probably
people,
a group.
They'll find out about this crossover with Fate and Genshin, and they'll give Genshin a go.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, I would instantly buy the Saber outfit because it's Fate. Like, fuck it. You could just give tons of Genshin characters as many Fate skins as you can possibly get. I will be down for it. Fate is my favourite franchise.
Mona could get a Rin.
Yeah, you could give Mona Rin.
Rin costume.
Aoife, just for a joke, I would give Aoife. Is it Emiya?
Yeah.
His name?
Emiya.
Yeah. I give him that. People die when they are killed. And have him say that.
Yeah.
Actually, have him say that just to go with the meme.
What would you give the Lumiere? If you give Aether...
Lumiere.
What would you give?
What would you give her? Sakura.
Yeah.
Sakura from Heaven's Feel. Give her that look.
Yeah, you could. There are plenty of skins they could do.
Yeah.
With like Fate and all the other stuff, but I think the reason why they haven't is because they don't need to. They don't feel like they need to.
Well, maybe they don't, but it'd still be fun.
Yes, I know, but this is the AAA game industry we're talking about.
I know.
Fun is not in any of our conversations.
I know, but still, like, come on, give us something.
Yeah,
give us something. Like you've got over 90 characters now. There's got to be another way.
Than just more characters.
Like, you've got to be running out of ideas of what these people can do. Like I said,
if they want another reason to just print money, then offering skins is the way to go. My problem is if they do that, will they just charge this? Because the skins aren't cheap at the moment when they do eventually come out with some, and I'm like, if they start bringing that out more regularly, I'm like, I really don't. I think they should really just like lower the price.
Yeah.
But it sucks because it's like we know it's a good game. It's an enjoyable game. And it's just like I think the player base just wants to be appreciated, to be, because without the player base, the game doesn't make the money. It's this whole thing of like, look after your player base, because your player base is literally the lifeline of the game. It's like if you piss them off or you drain them dry, all that you're doing is killing your game.
Yeah.
I just don't understand the logic behind, we're just going to milk you even more as much as possible. Like, Activision Blizzard asking the Diablo player base, would they be happy with $100 DLC? Yeah, they've literally sent a survey out.
Yeah.
They sent a survey out to the Blizzard
$100 DLC
fan base.
You know what the worst thing about that though is, you can guarantee there are people who've put yes.
Yes. Oh, I know that. But the thing is like, Diablo 4 as it isn't worth $100. It's not even worth $70. Hell, I would be very. And this is in the year that Path of Exile 2 is getting released.
Yep. Also,
PoE 2, which is as far as we can tell from what everyone is saying about the game, what everything's being released about the game, what people are talking about, this game when it gets released is just going to take everything by fucking storm. Because they've literally gone with, we're going to give you the customization, the gameplay loop, and the thrill and the power fantasy that Path of Exile 1 gives you, but we're making it so much easier to get that power fantasy, and it's going to look prettier.
Yeah.
Because the thing when people say about, oh well, Diablo 4 is better than Path of Exile, is that they usually go down to, well, the graphics are better. And like, have you not seen Path of Exile 2 currently?
I know.
Oh my fucking god,
there's another one that's coming out. I think it's called I want to say Enoch.
Last Epoch.
Epoch. That looks good.
Last Epoch is coming out. Like, and the thing that Path of Exile 2 will automatically have over Diablo 4 is it's free. It's a free-to-play game. Does it have microtransactions? Yes, but Diablo is a $70 game that has just as many, if not worse, microtransactions than Path of Exile. A lot of people have actually said Path of Exile's microtransactions is one of, if not the best marketplaces, because everything is not fucking stupidly priced.
Alright, and it's not. The game doesn't force you into it.
The game doesn't constantly shove you the fucking store in front of your face. The game literally goes, hey, look, there's some cool shit here. Go play the game.
Yeah.
If you want to go to the store, go. If you don't, just play.
So yeah, after that little tangent. So Genshin's in trouble.
Yeah.
I will keep an eye on, because I think 4.4 is out at the end of the month. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't think we're going to get anything with all the things. I think Chinese will probably get some Prima Gems, but
the Chinese market will probably get more. Which is
the
thing is I'm not begrudging the Chinese fan base from getting more.
Oh yeah,
I don't think.
I just want us to get what the Chinese are getting.
It's like, I just want to be like, I just want it to be fair.
I don't understand why we get different stuff.
Yeah, I don't want the Chinese fan base to get less. I want them to get the same, if not more, than what they're getting usually. But I would just like it, if they're getting it, why can't we have it as well? That sort of thing. It's like, if like I said, if you can afford to pay, if you can afford to give this amount of shit to this part of the community, then you should be able to give the same amount of shit to the rest of the community.
So unfortunately, unless more people on this side, on our servers, kick off, nothing's going to happen.
No.
Unfortunately. But anyway, we shall now move on. Because Power World Early Access came out.
Yes.
And it's sold 5 million copies in 3 days.
It took the internet by storm.
So much so that it broke its service.
Because everyone believed when they first saw the trailers and all that, which, by the way, the trailers came out 3 years ago. Just, a little...
Yeah, they just believed it was just Pokemon.
Yeah. It was basically an open world Pokemon, which, if an open world multiplayer Pokemon, a proper multiplayer Pokemon, not
with
just...
guns.
With guns. Where you're not just like, oh, well, we can go and fight this massive boss together, but that's about it.
Yeah.
There's nothing really else we can do together. There's a little bit of co-op, but not really. It's all like tacked on, and also, the last game came out and it was a buggy mess. Also, a lot of things like every Pokemon game you used to be able to go into every building, and now you can't, and a whole bunch of other things. And so people, the people have been wanting for years now a true open world Pokemon game, monster catcher game. And so Pal World comes along at a $30 price tag, basically saying, hey, we're an open world monster catcher game. And so
it does look fun.
It does look really fun. Now, here's the thing. It is not Pokemon with guns. If anything, it is Pokemon Ark Survival.
Yes.
Because it literally has all the aspects of Ark Survival. You base building, capture monsters,
yeah,
train
it's
them.
a survival game. It's a survival game.
It's a survival game. Now...
And you have to eat the pals.
There are two... At the moment, there seems to be two camps with this game. There are those that have been yearning for a proper, decent Pokemon game for years, because, let's be honest, the last few have been meh, at best. Yeah. And I've literally turned around and gone, well, what do you expect me to do? I've been wanting this for years. It comes out, it's just not Nintendo. And then there's the other side of the argument, who have literally said, well, it's plagiarizing Pokemon.
Well, I mean, that's the thing about that, right? And tell me that's not Eevee.
Yeah, I know. But
I mean,
the problem, the issue is this: if it was actually played, right, the Electabuzz with a minigun is a better example, because Eevee is basically a fox, and there's only so many ways you can do a fox. But, do you honestly think, for the 3 years since the trailer, Nintendo's lawyers were not told to look at this? Nintendo, the giant multi-billion corporation. Now, my problem is also that it's the actual genuine criticisms of this Pokemon looks, this pal looks remarkably like this Pokemon, like the Electabuzz example. Yeah. There's a couple others. It's getting drowned out by all the other people that are just talking absolute fucking shit because they don't like it. And I'm like, look, you're harming your fucking argument. There's people that are complaining that the sheep looks like Wooloo, which is a fucking sheep.
Yeah.
My argument is there were better examples. Stop throwing me the ones that go, oh well, it's a sheep. What more do you want? And the thing is also, it's not just the Pokemon defenders that are coming up with stupid fucking arguments. Some of the PAL ones are coming up with stupid ones as well. Someone puts up comparisons between Pokemon and Dragon Quest monsters.
Completely different art styles. 100%.
I know, but also it's
I think
that they compare Psyduck to the duck, the furry duck-looking one in Dragon Quest, and I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
they're both based on a platypus. There's only so many different ways you can make them look like, and then still have it look like a platypus.
I think my thing, my side of the thing, isn't the fact that it looks like an Eevee. My thing is that it's the exact art style. That's where I'm coming from. I'm fine with look, draw a fox, have it look like Eevee.
Here's the problem with this, with that argument. If you copyright an art style, that means
no. So I'm not on about copywriting or anything like that.
Yeah, no, but
I'm not on about plagiarism. What I'm saying here is that so say I draw a superhero, right, and he looks exactly like Goku.
Yeah.
Right. Now, I'm not going to get called a plagiarist per se.
But people are going to call you out.
But people are going to call me out for copying the art style.
Yeah.
Which is fair.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm like, I mean, look at it.
Yeah, I know. I know. Right. So the problem is that those are legit. That's to say, what you're saying is like that looks like an Eevee. It's one of those where it's like almost legally. It may be like legally distinct from Eevee.
That's what I'm thinking. I think there's a lot of the things that I see in PAL. There's enough there where you can say, well, it's not exactly that. There is enough differences between
to be legally distinct.
Yeah.
Now, there is an argument that what is morally right and what is legally right are two separate things. The problem is that if people are pissed off because it's the art style. The art style is very Pokemon for the monsters. It is very Pokemon. But if people decide that, it looks like Pokemon, therefore we must ban it because it looks like Pokemon, then in that case, Dragon Quest should be banned because it looks like it looks like Dragon Ball and everything else by Toriyama. I mean, granted, it looks like that because Toriyama made it, but Shonen owns the rights to Dragon Ball. They don't own the rights to Dragon Quest, as far as I'm aware.
They don't own the art style. That's what I'm saying. That's my criticism of it. Is
there's also another argument where people are going, well, it's clearly AI, and I'm like, do you have proof? Because they're just coming out with, well, the CEO likes AI, and I'm like, if that's your argument, then I hope to God you don't play Square Enix games, Ubisoft games, EA games, 2K games. I hope you don't play any other a game from any AAA company at all, because guess what? Those CEOs are probably very heavily loving AI.
Oh yeah, especially Ubisoft. I mean, they've literally sang the praises of AI for about a year now.
So, there are, and that's my biggest frustration with Power World. Not necessarily the game. I haven't played it. I haven't bought it. I don't know if it's.
I plan on getting it at some point.
But there are legitimate complaints people can have with the game and certain things. The problem is it's being drowned out by all this complete and utter nonsense on both sides.
Oh yeah.
People are going on about people are now defending us. And I'm also wait, so you call this shit out, but where were you calling out the fucking? Why don't you call out EA Sports every time they release a fucking football game or a Madden game? And because they're trying to call Power World asset flip. Now, there's a difference between buying Unreal assets and using it into a game that you've put time and effort into and make it work, to an asset flip, which is just basically a whole bunch of assets that have been bought, thrown into a game with no fucking thought at all whatsoever, and then sold as a piece of shit. There's a difference. The fact that Power World has so many. Also, by the way, it is very dark.
Oh yeah,
it's
a survival game.
I know,
and
but
you have to eat things.
No, yeah, you have to eat things, but also you can capture humans.
Yeah, which is a bit weird. Not gonna lie.
There is, and also they have
you can sell them as well.
Yeah, also, it's been deliberate. They've chosen the Pokemon style deliberately.
Well, yeah, because it's gonna catch your eye.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, all these people raveling on about AI and all that shit without any proof, you're just helping the game get more eyes on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, and a lot of because obviously I check Twitter every now and then, and a lot of people in the game industry have actually come out and said, look, if it turns out they have actually used AI, then I'll fucking come out and support you to the hell afters and get, this game shouldn't be popular, shouldn't be successful. We should snip in the.
I mean, personally, like with the amount of similarities that there are between the pals and the Pokemon, it generally wouldn't surprise me if it came out as they used AI art.
Yeah, but
there's no proof.
But there's no proof, and like this, the developers have said, like they've literally learned everything from scratch.
Yeah,
which means if you're going to learn from scratch, what you're going to take as influence to influence you.
Well, considering what game you're making, yeah, you're gonna
look at Pokemon. Like I say, it is literally down to the choice of art style, which is deliberate. They deliberately take one that looks really close to Pokemon. Deliberately, and if this had a different art style, there would not be this amount of controversy. Now, would the game have been as popular? Is another argument. But until there's proof, because a lot of people are now just calling AI out for being AI without any proof or existence or like any knowledge. It's just like, I don't like that. That looks like AI to me. And I'm like, just stop.
Yeah.
If you call everything AI, it just means it hides in the legitimate shit. And it makes it harder for those of us who actually fucking care, instead of standing on your high horse, to actually discern what is and what isn't. And it's, like I say, it is literally the game, an open world. It is literally the game that Game Freak should have made. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
If they made a true open world.
I think the problem. Number one, Game Freak actually have to do it. Number two, I don't think their consoles could handle it. To be fair, they'd have to. I mean, the next if they were to do it for the next generation, like they a massive step up. They have to do a massive step up.
The thing is like, if you look about the games that have come out on the Switch, especially if you think about like the style that Game Freak do.
Yeah.
In their
No, I'm just on about like the online aspect.
Yeah, but here's another thing. I don't think the online thing is that much of a deal breaker per se. If they'd actually made a decent open world Pokemon game,
yeah, maybe
people would have been a bit like, "Oh, I wish I could play this with my friends," but they'd still like really. My point being is like, Game Freak have literally not really evolved that much since the Game Boy Color and the DS. Like, Sun and Moon is probably the best game they made, and that's because they were actually getting competition from Yokai Watch and Digimon. And so they actually had to step up. If this is the catalyst that gives us an actual proper decent non-buggy Pokemon game,
yeah,
then great.
Yeah.
The ball is in Game Freaks. This game has literally come out to Game Freak and gone, you know what? If you do this and actually make it do, you'll sell gangbusters.
Mm.
And also, speaking of like, could the Switch do it? Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Tears of the Kingdom is a fucking huge game.
I'm just on about like an MMO aspect. That's all I was on about.
I don't think you need that many. I don't think you would need to do that many for people to really like, just like a proper Pokemon game with an actual like decent connectivity and more than just what was the last one? Not Sword and Shield, the one after that. Violet and Scarlet.
Violet and Scarlet.
a bit more better multiplayer than that. And I think, and a little bit better like.
Give us a story as well.
Yeah, removal, but more importantly, a bit more of a removal from the normal formula of what Pokemon is. Like, oh, you've got to go and get these badges and these gyms, and it's like, no, just give us
a story. Give us a story and make like the gyms and all that sort of stuff like side content.
I mean, don't even give us like give the gyms as like challenges instead of like, you have to do these gyms to progress. Or you have to do these gyms to be able to control your Pokemon after a certain level.
Give us a big ass story.
Like, what was the historical one?
A Creus? A Creus?
Yeah, people like that.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that wasn't fully on the whole usual hero journey to become the #1 Pokemon master of the region. Like, no, we've done that a lot of times now. We don't want to do that again. Don't give us that. Give us something else.
Yeah.
And I think that's the problem. Is like people are now just really pissed off that Game Freak just do not move from their formula, and the last few games they've released have not been great.
Not been great, no. They've been a bit meh.
They're coasting.
Yeah.
It feels like they're coasting, and it's like, no, we don't want you to be coasting because you just come up with the same shit.
It's to be fair for Pokemon, it's the other stuff that's pretty good.
Do you know what I
like the other merchandise?
Do you know what I would? And I don't think this would ever happen because Nintendo would have to have it released on the Switch. But if Nintendo allowed them to release a PC game, because obviously they'll never let it go on PlayStation or Xbox. It'll never happen. If Nintendo let them release a PC game and they gave us every single, like I say, the ultimate Pokemon game of the whole world as we know it as currently, so it has red and blue, was it gold and silver. Diamond and Pearl,
Sun and Moon.
X and Y, Sun and Moon, Sword and Shield. Like, fit it all into a world and let everyone just go out and explore it. And then just have the whole thing of, like, instead of having the champion's journey, have events.
Or just have a big ass story.
Yeah, but have a massive story of, like, exploring the world and collecting Pokemon and...
I mean, fuck it, put a house builder in there.
Yeah.
You have a farm. Build a farm. And that's where all your Pokemon go. So instead of putting it in Bill's box...
Bill's box or the Pokemon, not breeder, but the care.
The care. You have a giant ass farm, and every Pokemon that you catch that isn't in your 6, that's where they go.
Yeah.
Easy peasy. And then you can go and visit your farm, and you can, like, I don't know, if you've got a Rapidash, you can ride it and ride around.
And like I say, if you really, really think about it, in comparison, like, Tears of the Kingdom is a giant ass game for the Switch. So if it can do Tears of the Kingdom, I think it can do a proper massive open world Pokemon game, and not just the
not just a 3D version of the 2D game.
Yeah, with regions that are split off from one another.
Yeah, but Power World has done absolute gangbusters.
It has.
It's the third fastest selling game on Steam.
It does have its critics, and like I say, especially with the people claiming that it's made by AI, I'm like, okay, show us proof. Not just, well, this looks like an Electabuzz and this looks like a Wooloo. Like, actually show us proof that it is actually AI. Because here's the thing. Steam states that if you use AI in your game for anything in regards to asset creation and art style, you have to declare it. And they haven't declared it, which means if they are doing that, if it is created by AI, they are breaking
terms
Steam's terms and conditions, which means the game has to be pulled. Prove it. You don't want this game to succeed, then prove, and you claim it's using AI, then prove it's using AI, and show it over to Steam, and they will, like I say, pull the plug on it. But don't just accuse it of it's AI without actually looking at it and actually giving us proof. And showing a sheep monster to another sheep monster is not proof.
No. But on that note, I think we'll leave it there.
Yeah.
That's good. I do hope you've enjoyed this chat, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye now.
Doodles.